All right, so here we are with another go at Minecraft. As you can see, we're picking up where we left off. After making the tower, I decided that I was going to go and explore the Nether Fortress to try and get some Wither Skulls. Mainly because I wanted to fight the Wither. But first I decided since I was here I was going to go and get some Blaze because I enjoy fighting Blaze. I toy with the idea of making a Blaze farm, but I don't know necessarily how that works. I've watched a couple videos on how you have to light up the area of a Blaze spawner, but I haven't actually been able to get them to stop spawning, so it could just be the way that I'm doing it or the spacing or whatever, I don't know. So I just got a couple more of these because I know that they can, blaze rods can be used as fuel, and at some point I'll also need it for like the rods that you can make with the end plant. So descriptive. Anyways, so we finished up getting those, and then we went about exploring I went over here to get some more wood so that I could make buttons to kind of limit where the skeletons were spawning, but I realized that I didn't clear this area enough to keep the hoglins from popping up out of nowhere. But yeah, so I kind of had made all of these markers to prevent the wither skeletons from kind of popping up behind me. That way that they would get stuck as they headed toward me because they're too tall or they're 3 tall or whatever. So I actually really like fighting wither skeletons when I have these things and they can't obviously attack me, because if they could attack me then it's not worth it in my opinion. But I kind of like being able to just wander around from location to location and fight them. But as I went, I did end up placing buttons down. Anyways, while I'm doing this, be sure to leave a like if you like the video, a comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think I should try and conquer next. Yeah, so I basically kind of tried to either put markers down so that they could get stuck, and I was able to, in general, loot the fortress pretty well, I would have to say. I did eventually, for some of these kind of back corner areas, not this one because this one ended up leading some other places, but for some of the back corner areas, I tried to fill those hallways in a bit to try and keep the wither skeletons kind of limited to some smaller locations, kind of like how you would do with a wither farm. Anyways, and then I slowly started finding more and more skeletons. I know that the drop rate is pretty low for wither skulls, but I did have looting 3 on my sword, which I think increases the odds of it. I do like using the bow quite a bit, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, you can see that I kind of went about fighting it and eventually got my first wither skeleton skull. And then carried on with wandering about. One thing that was a little bit annoying was the skeletons that would pop up, because obviously they're not too tall to get, or tall enough in order to get caught. But eventually I got to work on making a bunch of buttons to try and limit where all the stuff could spawn. I've seen people do it with carpet, but I've also seen people do it with buttons. I don't know how thorough this needs to be, so if you guys happen to know, let me know. But I kind of just popped around and did different things. My favorite thing was just kind of like to get them to chase me down until they would get stuck. So there I got my second skeleton or skull, and my biggest issue with this part was the fact that I was afraid that I was going to get stuck somewhere and they were going to end up like killing me or something. But yeah, so this was kind of my favorite part, just running around and getting them to drop all this stuff until I eventually finally got all 3 of my wither skeleton heads. I also started working on making farms, which was a bit of a shift for me because I haven't done a lot of that. I like doing redstone stuff, so it was kind of fun to finally get a chance to do it. Now that I've done a ton. I'm trying to think if I've done any. I did the sheep farm and I did the chicken farm and I tried to do the cow farm, but I decided for this time that I was just going to do a bamboo farm, and I eventually swap over and make a sugarcane farm. But yeah, so I sort of explored with making some redstone. I didn't make them very large. I made them only three canes, I guess. Then I started wandering around using the roof to kind of get access to a bunch of other trees and structures and stuff, which was kind of cool. Right here, I'm looking around for tadpoles, and then later on I realized that I needed slime so I could breed frogs so they could give me tadpoles. But I did get all of the different types of wood. It was kind of cool seeing a mangrove because I've only ever seen them in passing, generally on my way to the end city where I would commonly die. 100% die, let's be real. 100% die except for this one single case where I did not die. And so this one was kind of nice because it was also next to a savanna, so I was able to get both types of wood and jungle, I guess, because it was by jungle. And then I went and popped over and got some spruce because I like having the dark oak, one with the option of building the really big trees, even though as much as I enjoy getting so much wood from those trees, I really find it a big pain having to kind of build them up and stuff. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. And when I would make different woods, I would try my best to kind of make paths for me to follow. I eventually turned off the fog effect because I kept getting lost when I was going places, and then I would run into issues trying to find my nether portals back. So because I had all the torches, but I never knew what they were going towards. And I did get some dark oak, and all of these different biome locations that I have, I did put my seed inside a seed map, just in case you guys are wondering. So that's how I know where these are located. I did not personally hunt these down and then work my way back because I don't know how to do that. And then after much delay, I eventually went ahead and decided that it was time to fight the wither. I watched a video on how to do this because I didn't really want to die trying to fight it. I've seen the tunnel version of it, but those are the only two options. I've seen other people obviously fight it normally, but they've always been on survival mode. I've never seen people do it in hardcore mode, so I was a little concerned, so I decided that I would just take the coward's way out and just fight it this way. Which was cool because then I got my star so that I could make a beacon. And then I went and got some more obsidian while I was up here so that I could make some more stuff because I'm always out of obsidian. Don't ask me why, I'm always out of it. And I also decided that I would go and make a path up to the end gate, I think is what they're called. I had thought about going back, but I decided, well, we might as well go to the end gate. I made some nice stairs for me to walk up and down them so that I wouldn't trip and fall to my death, which seems to track with my skills at this game. But yeah, so it was kind of, in general, a pretty chill go with Minecraft this time around. I completed fighting the wither and I got all those wither skulls. I made it to the end gate, and yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.